3 years. 3 entire years of plush video in. And we've gathered this much. Whether it's from purchasing or making them with my own bare hands. We're gonna go through every single one from these 3 years. The counter will be up there. Cyan means one I bought. Lime means one I made. And also a heads up, there is one plush that isn't here, and that is the Madness Combat Sheriff. So that's number 1. Now then, with that out of the way, let's begin. These aren't in any order, but let's start with the normal ones that are not custom, starting with the Jazzware or Wicked Cool Toys, I don't really know. Horsey. Okay, I just read the tag. It is Jazzwares. Here is a bootleg Bursa from Plants vs. Zombies. He hasn't appeared. He's going to be in episode 5 of Plants vs. Zombies, dubbed as Derek, the unholy consumer of worlds. Reference to Polygon Donut. Here is a Jazzware Cyndaquil. Setting cuties for Pocket Monsters Totodile. Some green earth shark thing. Little Buddy Fire Luigi. Little Buddy All-Star Chain Chomp. Oh, sorry, Sonic All-Star. Forgot they're not the same thing. Tommy Sonic the Hedgehog. I heard this guy was a prototype, and he's very rare. So I'm glad I have him. I don't know the brand of Angry Birds plushes. When I bought this, the tags were cut off, but here is the Bluebird. I don't have any others, so it's not any names, it's just Bluebird. Bootleg Mega Man. Sonic All-Star Baby Luigi. This squid thing that I got in an aquarium. Some bootleg zombie, I don't know who he is, I just call him Hippie. Sonic All-Star Black Yoshi. On the channel, he is known as Ryan. Funko Freddy Frostbear. Some Scorpion made by TY. Sonic All-Star King Deedee. Funko Roxanne Wolf, which I customized to look more in-game appearancy. Jazzware Sobble. Here is a Kid Robot Stan Mars that I customized into Toolshed. And I know the glasses are supposed to be yellow. The yellow marker wore off. And here is his drill, which you can put into his hand, like so. Some Piplup. I don't know what brand it is, I just know I got it out of Dave & Buster's. Build-A-Bear Pichu. Bootleg Red Koopa, but on the channel he is known as Isaac. Here's the Fangamer Sans. Super Nintendo World Bob-omb. Bootleg Devil from Cuphead. Disgusting. Bootleg Eggplant Ninja. This Disney Marvel Spider-Man Zoom Zoom. Custom Etsy Beppy the Clown from Cuphead by Freak's Little Shop, as you can see. He also comes equipped with a squeaker. Mine's a little worn out. Some bootleg pale ass Ketchum. I just called him Ass Ketchum, nice. Bootleg Michael Jackson zombie. This little mini penguin thing. Bootleg Bowser Jr. Little Buddy Lemmy. Jazzwares Quaxley. Great Eastern Entertainment Chaos. One of my favorite plushes in this collection. Build-A-Bear Toothless. He was supposed to be in the Pokemon Universal Studios video that got scrapped, but it wouldn't work anyway because I went to Universal Studios Hollywood, and for some reason there's only a How to Train Your Dragon area in Orlando, Florida's Universal Studios. Super Nintendo World Chef Toad. Sonai All-Star Waddle Doo. Jazzwares Bidoof. Funko Moondrop. Batsmaru by, I don't know if it's made by Gun or Senrino, but it's one or the other. Some bootleg Raichu, but the thing about this is I think it might be a shiny Raichu because Raichus aren't colored like this, and there's no way this is the Alolan version. Little buddy Parachupa with one wing and it's upside down. Here's a Mega Man that's on crack, which I just call Crack Man. Funko Glamrock Chica, who's also been customized. Sonai All-Star Goomba, on the channel he's known as Clive. Some big red backpack, don't know the brand. Spinning Cuties or Pocket Monsters Marowak. Sonai All-Star Pom Pom. Some bootleg pole vaulting zombie, which on the channel he's just called Vulture. Jazzware Squirtle. Sonai All-Star Lakitu. Some Proto Man, I don't know if this is a bootleg or an official, but Proto Man. Here is the Cole's Care Charlie Brown. Super Nintendo World Yoshi. Who complained about the All-Star Yoshi's asses being big. Sonai All-Star Charmander. Sonai All-Star Drybones. On the channel he is known as Scott. Here's the makeshift Jebediah Kristoff. With glasses. Some little donkey thing. Some crab thing. Jazzwares Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 Dr. Edgar Zombos. Yes, I have the extremely rare guy, and I'm not lying when I say I got him for $5. Sonai All-Star Boom Boom. Some dog, I don't know what brand it is, but I do know I got it in 2014. Kid Robot Funny Kenny McCormick plush. Kid Robot Funny Stan Marsh plush. I don't know why I'm saying plush, everything is a plush here. Here's one of the aliens from Toy Story from Disneyland. I'm trying to show you the tag, there it is. Its hands are magnetable, that's a word, right? Together. Little buddy Wendy. Funko Sundrop, but I like to call him Sunrise, you know, Sunrise and Moondrop. Sounds cooler. Bootleg Basic Zombie. This ugly, disgusting bootleg Cuphead. This slightly less ugly and disgusting bootleg Miss Chalice. Toy Factory Brian Griffin. Club Mochi Mochi Bob-omb keychain. Without the keychain. Build-A-Bear Yoshi. Little buddy Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Luigi. Without the Poltergust. And here is the Poltergust. Took it off so I can put it on my normal Luigi. Sonai All-Star Wispy Woods. Some mini frog thing. Some Angry Birds pig with a cracked helmet. Because I don't know the brands of these Angry Birds plushes. Great Eastern ignoring that. Great Eastern Entertainment Dr. Eggman. Quite round. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Tails by Jack's Pacific. Bootleg Princess Peach. Some dog with Easter Bunny ears, which is Garland from South Park on the channel. Don't know the brand, pretty sure I got it at Disneyland, but here is Mickey Mouse. Several years old. Great Eastern Entertainment Shadow the Hedgehog, who got a lot of fur. He's black. Bootleg Walnut. Some little Bulbasaur got from, you know, those claw machine apps. Yeah, I actually got one. Some snake that's bendable all around. Donald Trumpman, which will be used in the South Park show. It's like, he has this arc. Yeah. Little buddy Cappy hat. Actual little buddy Cappy. Here's this bootleg Raw Zombie. Fangamer Spamton G Spamton. Who Talks.
Now he stands to be a big shot.
Here's Peepus. This was inside of the Spamton. Since I forgot to show it with Sans, here's the red thing that's inside Sans. I also made some other stuff for my Spamton. My old Spamton Neo clothes. And my new and better Spamton Neo clothes. Let me know if you want me to sell these so you guys can do the same thing. Here's a random Pokeball backpack. This octopus I got in an aquarium. This ugly and disgusting bootleg Hella Maria. This little Pachita keychain that I got at an actual claw machine. Sonic All-Star Luigi. Angry Birds Iceberg. Oh, wait, this has a tag. Yeah, I couldn't read it, but it did say Rovio Entertainment a lot, so I'm just gonna say these are by Rovio Entertainment. Makeshift The Duck plush. With grapes and lemonade. Bootleg Bloomerang. Jack's Pacific Bendy. Jazzwares Totodile. I don't know, I'm pretty sure this is by Pokemon Center. Cubone. With a removable mask. So this is canonically what Cubone looks like under. Ignore that thing. That was my fault. Here's this McDonald's Happy Meal toy of... forgot his name, but it was from when Soul came out. Y'all remember that movie? Funko Pig Patch. Toy Factory Jigglypuff, which I got in Dave & Buster's, which means the Piplup is also by Toy Factory. Great Eastern Entertainment Supersonic. Kid Robot Funny, Craig Tucker. My name is Craig Tucker. If I can say ass pussy to the school counselor, I'd be so happy. Sonic All-Star Paragoomba. Which is just a Goomba with wings. Kind of overpriced, $13 for this. Great Eastern Entertainment Metal Sonic. And when you add a couple accessories, he is the channel mascot, Super Silver. Sonic All-Star Charmeleon. Sonic All-Star Wario. Bootleg Rodeo Imp. My so far only official Cuphead plush, the Funko King Dice. Don't worry, I have this video playing where I'm gonna get every other one. TY Spider-Man. Jack's Pacific Tentacle. Also known as Ben. This Sonic 25th Anniversary little guy that I got in a claw machine at Dave & Buster's. Sonic All-Star Bob-omb, which I customized into King Bob-omb, which soon I will turn him back. Bootleg Bearberry Mortar. Pretty sure Mortar's in there, I don't know, but definitely Bearberry. Merrymaker's PD the Cat. Final Build-A-Bear, here is the Build-A-Bear Snubble. Rovio Entertainment Chuck. The Nintendo Yoshi's Woolly World Yarn Yoshi Green version amiibo. I don't have any of the others, but I will get them one day. Bootleg Bananasaurus Rex. Funko Frostbite Balloon Boy. Sonic All-Star Waluigi. Wah. Pretty sure I got this at Disneyland too. I don't know, the tag's faded, but here's Pluto. Bootleg Purple Zombie. Fiesta Mr. Pickle, which I got at a Dave & Buster's. Again. Popco PD Piranha, one of my favorites. Funko Guy, I don't know, the tag says he's from Wetmore Forest, but I don't know what that is. Bootleg Mummy Zombie. This was a bootleg Luigi, but I turned him into Gooigi, with a Poltergust which is removable. As you can see here. This ugly, disgusting bootleg Mugman. This Build-A-Bear Piranha Plant with a bendable stem that I got with my Build-A-Bear Yoshi. This disgusting Jack's Pacific Dr. Eggman. So glad I got the new one. This Build-A-Bear Tiny Diamond plush. Bootleg Silver the Hedgehog. Bootleg Screech. This pretty decent looking bootleg Cagney Carnation. Bootleg Banana Blaster. This little Toy Factory Mini Knuckles thing. Club Mochi Mochi blooper keychain, also without the keychain. Little Buddy Iggy Koopa, my favorite Koopaling, and he has removable glasses. This was a bootleg Tails, but I turned him into the Tails doll. Great Eastern Entertainment, Rouge the Bat. This massive Honka. This little mini seahorse thing. Bootleg Bonk Choi. Humongous Crochet Baymax. Club Mochi Mochi Mushroom. Little Buddy Birdo. Universal Studios Shrek. Easily the best in the collection. Online is clearly much better. Sonic All-Star Red Yoshi. Here's this The End New Year's TY Bear. But on the channel, he will be known as Cody. Shout out to Lotrid, now known as Stuff Stunts, for giving me this. Toy Factory Knuckles. Alright, so let me explain. This is a Tomy Pikachu, but his eyes were shaped like U's, and I didn't want that. This is before I got the Jazzwares Pikachu, but since its eyes were closed and this was my only Pikachu, I wanted them to be open, so I added eyes, but then I didn't like them because I got this guy, so I tried to take them off, and now he looks like this. He came with this Pokeball though that you can zip up, so that's pretty cool. Great Eastern Entertainment Classic Tales. Great Eastern Entertainment Classic Sonic. Here's this little mini Mario, I don't remember the brand. This was my first Mario plush, by the way. Here's the Spike Ball that came with the Little Buddy Lakitu. All-Star Lakitu, sorry. Rovio Entertainment Bomb. Toy Factory Pac-Man. This really good bootleg Dead Cuphead. This Tiger Shark. Rovio Entertainment Space Chuck. Funko Nightmare Foxy, which I added a hook to for some reason. I wish I could take it off. Funko Eclipse Sun version. Here are these bootleg Freddy and Bonnie plushes, which I dubbed Fredster and Bonner. Here is the Good Stuff Foxy. Sonic All-Star Kirby, who is a massive dick on my channel. Sonic All-Star Donkey Kong. Kid Robot Funny Kyle Broflovsky. Popco Goomba, but on the channel he's known as Jerry. And on Luigi Fan he's known as Goom Goom. Oh yes! Little Buddy Polterpup. Mattel Creeper, which I added the Dan Bull chain. Sonic All-Star Fire Mario. Bootleg Conehead. Sonic All-Star Diddy Kong. Did y'all hear that Diddy is somehow innocent? World of Nintendo Yoshi. Funko Circus Bonnie, but I was watching the FNAF movie, so I made him into a movie Bonnie. I regret it? No, I do not. This goofy ass King Dice bootleg, which I call King Dunce. Bampresto Whooper. Another Toy Factory 25th anniversary plush, this time it's Knuckles. I got him at the same time as the Sonic. I tried to get the Tails, but that's when I fucking lost. Like 3 times, and ran out of points. Fangamer Papyrus. And inside the Papyrus was the annoying dog. Sonic All-Star Koopa Troopa. Funko Vanny plush, but I customized it as you can clearly see. Sonic Meta Knight. I like the original Meta Knight more, so I got it. The mask was broken, which is why it looks like this, because I repaired it. Sword was already off with the plush when I got it, but here's Meta Knight's sword. Took a while to get to this one, but here's the Sonic All-Star Mario. Here's this giant Yoshi backpack. I cut the straps off. Got it like a couple days after my big Yoshi Build-A-Bear. This weird mini orca thing. This weird mini monkey. I don't know what the hell this is. This crochet soldier from Squid Game. Pokemon Center Alolan Marowak. This blue bear that I got when I was born. So this was technically my first plush. Bootleg Meowser. I bought it specifically for the Onslaught. Go check it out. Sonic All-Star Waddle Dee, but on the channel he's known as Lad. King Dedede's little guy. Here is a penguin pillow pet. Remember these things? These things were fucking awesome. Toy Factory Bart Simpson. Fangamer Lancer. The official David Firth Salad Fingers with bendable fingers. I do actually have a Salad Fingers show. It has one episode, but you should go check it out. The bootleg bass zombie, but on the channel he is known as Punk. And yes, he is high. That's why my fucking eyes are red, you idiot. There's the ginormous Universal Studios Agnes's Unicorn. This Ultimate Spider-Man neck pillow. Bootleg Apple Bomb. Bootleg Blover. Here's this Christmas bird that looks like a chicken and a penguin, so I called it Sanguine the Chicken Penguin. Pretty sweet name, huh? The Kid Robot Funny Eric Cartman. The Funko Monty. Should have probably customized the mohawk too. Also, why is his ass the only thing that's not printed on his legs? The Kid Robot Funny Leopold Butters Stotch. Second best character, right after, of course, Carmen. This bootleg Gray Among Us. Brovia Entertainment Matilda. Oh yeah, I forgot these talk, but none of these guys talk, which is why I didn't mention it. Bootleg Duckweed. Funko Chow. This was apparently a GameStop exclusive, and also the first Funko Sonic plush, so pretty cool. This electronic Blue Among Us, which I'm not going to showcase any of the features of. Club Mochi Mochi Green Shell keychain with the keychain this time. Sonic All-Star Garchomp. Greedy Center Entertainment Monokuma. Danganronpa series starting next month, guys. Get hyped. Jazzwares Eevee. Been a while since we've had a Jazzwares one, right? Probably one of the most obscure plushes, and I definitely know I'm the only one who has these guys. The Koopa Bros from Paper Mario. I love these guys, especially in the Mario Sprite animation shows like Super Mario Bros. Z, which is kind of what made me want to make these guys. Super Nintendo World Pit's Crew Toad. I almost said Pit Stop, but I learned it's Pit Crew, so. Another little frog thing. Great Eastern Entertainment Modern Amy. Great Eastern Entertainment Classic Amy. I only have one classic left, and it's Knuckles. I forgot about Eggman. Sonic All-Star Bowser. I love Bowser, he's the best Mario character. Changed my fucking mind. This decent looking Shadow bootleg. This absolutely horrendous Shadow bootleg. Another absolutely horrendous Shadow bootleg, except I turned him into base form Mephiles, so pretty cool. Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Sonic. A monkey pillow pet, which I might use as a Donkey Kong character, I don't know. Fangamer Metaton with removable mic. And this was inside of the Metaton. Funko Jack Skellington, who glows in the dark. Alright, so this was just a bear with a bunch of USA stuff, but I turned him into Midbis from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Like, fuck America, we got Midbis. This snowman thing, which was given to me by Mr. Purple Nurple. I don't know why, he just did. This Sonic All-Star Blue Yoshi, which I turned into Boshi. I regret it, but at the same time, I don't, because on one hand, I lost Blue Yoshi. On the other hand, I gained Boshi. But if I get another All-Star Blue Yoshi soon, then I won't have any regrets. Bootleg Duck Tube. Vietcom International Giant SpongeBob, which I got at a Dave & Buster's. Merrymaker's Dogman. Little Buddy Morton Koopa Jr. Jazzware's Mimikyu, also known as the best Pokemon to ever exist. Tomy Sonic Boom Orbot. Bootleg Dark Bowser. Little Buddy Ludwig von Koopa. Bootleg Newspaper Zombie. Sonai All-Star Boo. Rovio Entertainment Red. Bootleg Nabbit. Here's his bag. I unstuffed it and removed it for some reason. Shiling Baby Sock Monkey. It's Sugar Pink Nerd Plush, but on the channel I use her as Kenny's Ma. Sonai All-Star Metal Mario. Sonai All-Star Poppy Rose Jr. Here's a King Boo I got from Etsy. You know, this is the older design because the King Boo now looks like this. Super Nintendo World Bowser Jr. This Sponge on the Run Patrick, the tag doesn't say its brand. Sonai All-Star Dry Bowser. This little octopus thing. Turns out I have one more Build-A-Bear. This is the Birthday Bear. On the channel I use this as red for the South Park series. Jazzware's Emolga. Rovio Entertainment Stella. Sonai All-Star Shy Guy, also known as Gil. And yes, I stole that name from Tripolar in my childhood, and it's been around for so long, I'm just not changing it. Funko Happy Frog. Jack Specific Edgar. Sonai All-Star Toad. Popco Balloon Boo. Lucasfilm BB-8 Pillow. Cooper, which is made from an All-Star Koopa Troopa. Sonai All-Star Baby Mario. Popco Mega Mushroom. Funko Foxy, which I made him look more in-game. Jazzware's Darumaka. Little Buddy Larry. Bootleg Gargantua aren't in, and my imp is removable. Rovio Entertainment Pig. This bootleg Totodot, which I call Crazodile because he looks more insane than the other two. Jazzware's Dratini. Dandy Collector's Choice Santa Claus. Yes, I'm reading the tag for some of these randoms. Funko Springtrap, when I made him look more in-game. Definitely one of my favorite productions. Kid Robot Funny Tweak plush with an enormous head. Jack Specific Sandile. Fun for All Rapper Cartman, who's supposed to talk, but it's out of batteries when I got him. Bootleg Grape Shot. Sonai All-Star Kamek. Little Buddy Roy. And to end off our normal plushes, here we have a gigantic Morty, made by Toy Factory. There are all of my regulars. Now for the custom. Alright, so for customs, we're not just gonna go in random order. No, we're gonna go from my first custom, make our way down the order I made them, to my most recent custom. Which means we're gonna go from bum creations like these to masterpieces like these. Also say hello to my cat Oreo. She's fucking amazing. Alright, so to start off the customs, we have a fucking sock. This was Arnie the sock puppet. Technically, he is my first custom plush, because he's a custom sock. Yeah. Next up, we have this little greenie from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Just a very small one, sewn by my mom. Next, we have this fish thing. So me and my mom tried to make a custom Sonic plush, but we gave up and it looks like this. So I just called it the Sonic Fish. Alright, these next 7 are from Among Us, so we're just gonna quickly go through them by saying their name and then their color. King, red. Mustard, yellow. Mr. Plant, green. Fuck off, mustard. Orange, carrot. Rose, pink. TP, brown. Agent X, black. Just realized you couldn't see them. I'm gonna do this now. Now, those guys are made by my mom and sister. So next up, we have this. This mini Goomba that I sewed. That's why it looks weird. But this is the Goomba by the Goomzilla tutorial. Link up there. On the channel, he's called Lil Goom. You may remember him from the Onslaught and Bowser's New Minions. Next up is Gold Ghost from the original Luigi's Mansion, sewn by my mom, Professor Egad, also sewn by my mom. Just so I don't have to say it again several times, all of these are sewn by my mom. Here's Fawful, based off of Super Mario Richie's old design. Sneaker from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Bullet Bill. A red Bullet Bill who is missing an arm. On the channel he's called Bullet Bob. Shrew from Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. And Inside Story because they did have a boss. I see Schuber from Only Partners in Time. Alright, these next two are from a comic book I made in 3rd grade. I asked my mom to make me plushes of them, so she did. This is Goldman. I sewed the head and face because I was impatient. That's why he looks like that. And Silverman, which my mom did all of, which is why it looks a lot better. Oozer from Luigi's Mansion 3. You saw him on Eggman earlier. Garbage Can Ghost from the first Luigi's Mansion. Gobbler from the second Luigi's Mansion. Goblin these nuts. Here is a second greenie. The reason he has this facial expression is because he's paired with my third greenie. And one last greenie, except he's covered in glow-in-the-dark paint. I'm not sure why I did this, but in the Luigi's Mansion series he was supposed to be called the Giving Ghost. I don't know, it's my own unique thing. Here's one that I somehow sewed by myself. Here's Cacnea. I mean, it still looks mid, but I'm more confused about how I actually managed to sew this entire circular body all by myself. First time doing bendy stuff, which is why there's just pipe cleaners in his arms, and they still don't bend. There was a Weedle, which I also sewed by myself. It had a bunch of marker issues. It eventually led with him having a bloody eye and an eye patch somehow. Back to Luigi's Mansion Ghost. Here is a hammer from the 3rd one. And Slammer from the 2nd one. Here is a very small Boolossus from the 1st one. Warning, this is where a lot of them look extremely bad, because this is when I started hot gluing my plushes. And as you know, my recent projects look amazing, but these are my starting projects. These are from F&F, starting with Boyfriend, who's made with pom-poms and his back looks disgusting. Skid. Pico. And Gray Tankman, who looks like a fucking monkey. Now all of these guys are from Cuphead, starting with Sal, or Sam, or I don't know, just the fucking potato from the root pack. Do you know this guy's name is Ollie? I also know this guy's name is Chauncey. Goopy the Grande, Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. One of the most atrocious plushes I've ever made. Hildeberg. The Moon Hildeberg. I don't know why I did these 2 side things. Ribby, whose stomach is flat. There's not even 2 sides, just 1 sheet. Same with Croaks, and he's missing a hand. Here's the Slot Machine, which is smaller than Ribby and Croaks. The Jimmy the Great, who also has these 1 sheet things. Baroness von Bonbon, who also has these 1 sheet things. the waffle, which doesn't look that bad because this one's kind of hard to mess up. The muffin. He looks okay, but I fucking hated him in the game. He's so fucking annoying. The candy corn. Aside, Willy Warbles. I had no idea how I'd make Wally, so I just went to his son. Grim Matchstick, who also has this two-side thing. And our last Cuphead plush for now is Elder Kettle. I know, these customs are atrocious, but you're already here at the halfway point. Past it anyways. Might as well just continue and finish. Move that crumb, because here is a flat Motobug. Here's some Badnik, I don't know who it is, I just remember that I saw it in Sonic Lost World. Here's Bill Cipher. Don't worry, I remade him, you'll see him later. For some reason I also made a laughing variant. Here's Mad Bill Cipher, I also remade him, you'll also see him later. Even though this one was never seen, I got this from a Google image, it's like some Galaxy Time Bill Cipher thing. Back to Sonic, we have some wisps. Starting with Laser. The normal one. Yacker, which is just the normal one, but with this thing. I'm facing the other way. Drill. Cube. And this music one from the DS version of Sonic Colors. Now we have some plushes from the hit Roblox game Doors. Starting with Rush, who's white for some reason, I don't know, but I definitely made a gray one, you'll see that one later. Seek. Ambush. Halt. Eyes, which has no stuffing, it's flat as fuck. Hide. And you can open it to see some weird eyes I put in here. And Dupe, which is 67 instead of 69 for some reason, and I had this weird face in it. Here's Kink-a-Thunk from Mario 3D World, which is very small, and his back has nothing on it compared to this front. Actually, it just has nothing on it at all. Here you have this Metal Shadow head. Now the reason I made a Metal Shadow head is because I was making a Metal Shadow and I was like, wait, this guy's actually gonna be in a video. Why is he flat? So I scratched it and made his head like this for the genuine Metal Shadow, which I still haven't used yet because now, compared to everything else, this look kinda twath. These next four are fun, a hit game that I really wish I didn't make plushes of. It's Rainbow Friends. Okay, let's just get this over with. Here's Blue. He can bend. Yippee, yip, yay. Hooray for Blue. Green, this one's my favorite out of these four because he honestly looks like a good plush. Orange, he looks fucking retarded. He's smiling on this side and not on this side for some reason. And purple, here he is, yay, we're done. I thought I can go back to showing these guys normally. Well, I would, but the camera keeps fucking blurring. But now we have more Among Us, yay. Lime, his name is Antenna. Tan, his name is Goggles. White, his name is Medic. Cyan, his name is Ninja. Purple, his name is Bro. Gray, his name is Rookie. Blue, his name is Dumb. Here's a good one. Well, I would show you if the camera would focus. Here's Mr. Eraser from Super Mario Maker 2. Back to Cuphead, but my mom sewed these ones. Here we have a remake of the Potato, Ollie, Chauncey, and the secret boss, Horace Radish, I think his name was. I also made this pawn from the King's Court, but for some reason he has this weird facial expression, so yeah. Here we have some Pokemon, starting with Meowth. And one of my favorite Pokemon, but for some reason still have become official, I'm stuck with this. Here's Wobbuffet. Here is another RC Schruber. I made this one because I lost the one I showed before, so I made this, and I found it. Here's Goop from Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, we're back to Ghost from Luigi's Mansion. Here's Bogmire from the first one. I'll get one from Etsy, I know there's two of them, and they both look pretty cool. Creeper from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which for some reason has a shocking resemblance to Bogmire. Here's Grabber Ghost from the first one. He looks so happy. Here's Hider from the second one. He looks weird and small. Boffin's also from the second one. And Purple Puncher from the first one. Here's something random. We have the entire Grubbin evolution, starting with Grubbin himself, or herself. Pokemon are both genders. Charger Bug, which I messed up a couple times, and now it's diagonal, and this side looks like that. And my old Vikavolt. Yep, I remade him. You'll see that later. Here are some bangers my mom sewed, and I still use these guys today, starting with Green Shy Guy, which on the channel he's Gil's older brother Tony. Yellow Shy Guy, who's Gil's younger brother Thomas. Shy Bandit, who's appeared fairly recently on the channel. And General Guy, who will have his own video. It's episode 14. Yes, I've planned that far ahead, but that's about it actually. Only planned episode 14. Here are some plushes that I'm definitely going to remake soon and even put on the Super Shop. You should check it out. Link right there. But here are the hard-boiled heavies from Sonic Mania, starting with Heavy Gunner, Heavy Shinobi, trying to flip this cape up. There we go. Heavy Magician, Heavy Rider. Here's a newer Motobug I made to go with Heavy Rider. And Heavy King. But its staff is flimsy as hell. Look at that. Definitely remaking these guys. Here's Poliwhirl. I didn't even want to make this guy. I just wanted to make a plush. I'm like, yeah, I can make Poliwhirl. Another Drill, when I made it for the same reason as that second Shroob, lost it, made a new one, found it. Here's Eerie from Super Mario World, who will be in the Luigi's Mansion series, like the new one that's coming. And here's Trapper from Luigi's Mansion 3. Yes, his arm is missing, here it is. Alright, these guys have appeared a lot in the classic days, especially for Fantastic Fabric Isle, which is almost back, but here is Orbot. I never made a new one because I got the official. And Cubot. I made a new one using Blop's tutorial, link up there, to go with my official Orbot. Actually, no link up there. Don't put that in, because I'm going to be selling Cubot or Netsy. I'm profiting off of someone else's thing. Here is my old Womp, which you saw in the Onslaught, and Bowser's New Minions. But I made a new one, like, right after that video. Here's a custom Chaos that I made before I got the official. Me and my friends called this Chaos's autistic cousin, Tomfoolery. I don't know why autism has to do with it, but it just does. And here is a newer Elder Kettle. Here's Buzzy Beetle. You guys have seen him, and also Bowser's New Minions in the Onslaught. Here's a Dark Star Core. Definitely remaking this guy for the Bowser's Inside Story series, which is coming one day. No time soon, though. Here is Krako from Kirby. I'm debating whether I should stay with this one or if I should actually get the official for the Kirby series. And here's Intasma. He appeared for one video, Intasma, and never appeared again because we're not in the classic era anymore. Our last few plushes before there's a lot of category. Here is the Spike Wisp. I sewing machined this, like the head, with orange fabric. I mean, what the fuck is it called? Thread. Because I was too lazy to change it, but then I got too lazy to even do that, so I just hot glued everything else. Here's this Wisp. I don't know what it is. I would call it Frenzy, but Frenzy has that Vortex head, so I don't know who this is. Here's a Rock Wisp from the DS version. And this Black Wisp, also from the DS version. Here's Starlo from the Mario and Luigi saga. I mean, franchise. Spinoff, yeah. That little hole pisses me off. Because he looks a lot better without that stupid fucking hole. Yeah, look at that. My hand is fucking upside down. And our final plush before we go into this next whole ass category is that Gray Rush I talked about earlier. So these next, I don't know, maybe like fucking 40 are all Plants vs. Zombies. I used these customs in the first 2 episodes of the show, and then I switched to the bootleg ones because I didn't want these guys to just be normal. But here's Pea Shooter. I made one of every plant, almost every plant. Sunflower, which I made it to an OC called Beetle. Cherry bomb. Walnut. Potato mine. Ice pea. Or snow pea. Don't remember which one it is, but this one's really cool. Chopper. Which was very advanced at the time I made it because like, whoa, 3D head, what the fuck? Repeater. And I even made one of Explodo Nut from Walnut Bowling. Here's Puff Shroom. Sun Shroom. Fume Shroom. Gravedigger. Yes, I made a plush of this. Scaredy Shroom. Sorry, I have something in my throat, so sorry if my voice sounds a bit weird sometimes. Hypno Shroom. Ice Shroom. And Doom Shroom with fucking huge ass eyes. Here's Lily Pad. Dangleweed. Squash. Torchwood, which I also made into an OC called Rovanic. I wish I didn't. Because what the fuck? What am I gonna use these two for? Three-peater. Jalapeno. And another Doom Shroom for the same reason as Drill and the Shroob. Lost it, made another one, found it. And this one has small ass eyes instead of large ass eyes. Here's another one that was ahead of its time. Here's Plantern. I think I also might be the first one to make a Plantern plush. Blover. Split pea. Pumpkin. And you can put any one side. Like our next guy, Cactus. Yeah, works. Magnet Shroom. Starfruit. And the last plant is Tona. Here's a zombie, then my only custom zombie that's used. Actually, this might be a custom zombie at all, but here's Ted. He's not based off anyone, I just made a zombie and called him Ted. And here are the final Plants vs. Zombies plushes. Here's the Sphinxonator from Ancient Egypt. And Zomboss can fit in each one of these, but Zomboss is somewhere in this pile, and I am not looking. The Pirate-inator thing? I don't know, it was from the Pirate Seas. The Tomorrowtron. Gargantuar Prime, who was used in the most recent episode. Gargantuar Prime. Could remake this because he has a lot of imperfections. Like, here's a picture of the actual Gargantuar Prime. They look a bit off, don't they? And finally, here is the Zombot. These three are from Nintendo Land Pikmin Adventures, which was my favorite game in Nintendo Land. Here we have the Bulblord, Translucent Wollywog, and Emperor Pinchipede, who is really flat. These next ones are from the indie game Terraria. I know the official pronouncing is Terraria, but you will not make me say that. The fuck is that? It's called Terraria. Starting with King Slime. Eye of Cthulhu Phase 1. Eye of Cthulhu Phase 2. The Eater of Worlds. Bet you guys have noticed the quality been going up with these plushes, huh? And here is Brain of Cthulhu. Brain of Cthulhu Phase 2. Deerclops, who was originally from Don't Starve, if you somehow don't know that. Skeletron, who was broken. He was held out by this thread, but it snapped. Now we just have this. Here's the Wall of Flesh. Queen Bee. Golem. Plantera Phase 1, who is getting the remake. Same with Plantera Phase 2. Last two Terraria plushes are the Twins Phase 1 and the Twins Phase 2. Here's the Dark Star from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Alright, these next 5 are from the game Zardy's Maze, starting with Cable Crow, which is my favorite out of these bunch. Pumpkin Crawler. Say hello to my cat Snowbell. I showed you Oreo earlier. I'm terribly sorry. This one was fucking hidden. Here's Queen Slime. Back to Zardy's maze. Here's Pumpkin Jack, whose hat is removable to reveal his big-ass forehead. Here's Zardy himself. I made him with purple since I had no blue. His thing is not long enough, but it is removable. And so is his hat to reveal his slightly less big forehead. Here's Brute. His hammer is removable. And finally here's Rattler, who is a secret guy. I don't have anyone from Zardy's Cave. I never played Zardy's Cave, but I have played Zardy's Maze. Y'all should play it. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Alright, last two before we go into another big major category. Here's the other Vikavolt I was talking about, the better one. And another OC, Turmeric. Now this one wasn't made off of anything, and he's somehow missing a hand even though fucking before I started recording this, he was fine. I was gonna make a Huggy Wuggy, but then I just started doing stuff, and now I have this. This is one of the bells from the Circus Bonnie. Yeah. Now we have all of my Madness Combat plushes, starting with the best character, Tricky the Clown. With removable mask. Here's my first grunt. Hank J. Wimbledon. My first agent. Deimos. Sanford. Sorry about the weird placements. This fat ass here. To Be Damned, or Doc. The Auditor, which I'm guessing will be the next Makeshift Madness Combat plush. Silly me, I forgot this. This was before the Dark Star. This is just a purple star. Nothing else, just a purple star. Here's my custom Jeebus, Jebediah Kristoff, Dr. Kristoff. Is it laggy? I feel like it's laggy. My old sheriff, who's from the actual show, and I just replaced him with a different one that you'll see soon. So now this is just a grunt with a hat. White Tricky, which is how Tricky looked in Madness Combat 2 and part of 3. ATP Engineer. You can really see the quality up now, huh? ATP Soldat. The Sheriff that I said you'd see soon. I replaced it with this one for the show. You already see him in the second Madness Combat that I posted. And soon I'll have the official Sheriff. Here's a black shaded agent. Like how they looked before they got upgraded. Alright, I have more room. He's here now. Here's Hank from the third Madness Combat after he got shot in the head. Here's Hank from the fourth Madness Combat, how he looked after he got stabbed in the back. Here are the Mag Agents, starting with Torture, or just V1. V2, no other name, just V2. My personal favorite, V3. And my least favorite, V4. Here's Riot Guard from Madness Project Nexus Classic from Newgrounds. Play it for free, it's pretty cool. Here's a Scientist, also from Madness Project Nexus Classic. Here's Tricky from Expurgation. This thing, don't know its name, it was also an Expurgation. Here, look at this. That's what that is. Here's how Tricky looked for the rest of Madness Combat 3 after he got stabbed and Jab brought him back. Here's an actual zombie, which is the smallest out of all my Madness Combat plushes. A little skunkly. Here is a Agent Zombie. Here's our last group of Madness Combat plushes, starting with the classic Jeebus from the starting episodes. Hank from episode 5. And 6 if you take off the mask. Here is Mustache Zombie. I never made Mustache Star, but here he is. One of my personal favorites. Just great face. Here's how Tricky looked in Madness Combat 9.5. Yeah. Here's another grunt, but this time wearing a coat. Another plain grunt. And our last Madness Combat plush is just this Agent. What the fuck? And I gotta make some more. The next one I gotta make is just the sun for the third one, which is coming next month. Alright, now we're back to no category, starting with this custom Mettaton, which I made like 2 years before I got the official. His mic is on his left side for some reason, but it's still removable. Here's Catnap from Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. See, this is where the customs like spike up in quality, like heavily. And I got the zipper. Last Poppy Playtime Plush is Dog Day. And when I started incorporating zippers, I'm like, yeah, I can make this guy, so that's why I made Sans, which I also made I made this like a week after I made Mettaton, so also 2 years before I got the official. Here's an Adam from Hazbin Hotel. I liked his design, so I just made him. I honestly never watched the show. Here is an Ink Demon plush from Bendy, obviously. Here is my new Bill Cipher. Fun fact, I'm gonna sell this guy on Etsy pretty soon. And I'm also gonna be selling my Mad variant that I also mentioned. Here is Missing Now. I tried to make his block thing so you can like go in it, but it's really flimsy and too small. Next up is the Duck. And I made this guy, and then I literally saw that like right after I made this guy that they made the makeshift Duck. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? This plush is useless. Well, I just use him as a random character now. He was in South Park episode 1. Here is Sunky. The 2D is intentional to represent like Sunky. Like, here's an image of Sunky next to my Sunky. Here is Cubot, the newer one that goes with my Orbot, the one that I'm going to be making more of to sell on Etsy. Here's Buzz Bomber. And now we have entered the final 10, starting with Spiker, Caterkiller, the Cat Bell, which I made for the Onslaught, the Fire Flower, which I also made for the Onslaught, the Man Behind the Slaughter, Purple Guy. Absolute masterpiece the way this was made. A Womp using Missing Turtle Club's tutorial from Mario 64. Yeah, pretty cute. Definitely better than that other Womp that you guys saw. Silly me, I totally forgot so. Well, here we have Mr. Muffin, whose leg broke off like right before this. I literally repaired him yesterday so he would be ready to show, but no, he decided to break again. But anyways, Mr. Muffin's also gonna be on the market pretty soon. Cheapest one gonna be $10 here. Here's a token plush. And now for the final two. These two are already on Etsy for $40 each. Here we have Tenna and the Roaring Knight, and he's dead. There he is. Yeah, they're both bendable in several areas. They're on Etsy, you can buy them. They're pretty cute. When you buy them, they won't have all this glue scraps on them, just letting you know that. Here are some extras, starting with this scrap Froakie Sock Puppet plush. This thing, it's supposed to be another Nintendo Land Pikmin Adventures boss. Here's an image of it, I forgot its name. Here's the head, I never made the rest. This was supposed to be another Grim Matchstick to replace the other one, and I'm kinda glad I didn't finish it, because it's another flat one. Here we have a scrapped Metang? I don't remember if this was gonna be a Metang or a Metagross, but it's scrapped. I was gonna make 2 more brutes because there's 3 brutes in the game, so here's a head of one of them. This guy will actually be finished someday. This guy will also be finished. It's a head from one of the minions of Tricky and Expurgation. Here's a picture of it, and its mask is removable. And the last thing is this Hank head. This was the original headset, the Hank plush, but it was too big, so I cut it off and made another one. And this, everyone, is my entire plush collection for 2025 for my 3-year anniversary. Thank you for to my subscribers. I don't remember the amount. I think it's like 65. For supporting me for all this time. Well, most of you guys are new, but that doesn't fucking matter. Here's everyone. Thank you. Here's my full collection. Thank you. I'm not setting these guys up. That's too much. Way too much. And the final amount is... I know, a lot. That's a lot. Wow. I would say that you guys make this possible, but not gonna lie, you don't if I only have 65 subscribers. So, have a great day. I will see you, hopefully see you, in another video. Goodbye.